Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's award-winning podcast, as voted by Grow Your Own magazine and by my followers and listeners. So if you're new to the podcast, make sure you click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts, listen back to all our previous episodes, sit back, grab a brew and let's enjoy today's episode. Hello and welcome back to Gardening with Ben. Well, it's been a nice day down at the allotment today. I have got so much done, more than I expected to get done. Usually I sneak off quite early, but as one of my plot neighbours was down there, it's always encouraging when somebody else is down at the plot because it makes you want to stay longer, and it certainly did for me. And I was down there probably from 9 o'clock while 1 o'clock today, so plenty of time spent down on the plot and plenty done. So what have we exactly got done today? Well, I've finished off getting all my strawberry area sorted. It's all now tidied, swept and cleaned up. Any old weeds what were growing, I've got rid of all them and tidied all them away. And I've even managed to repair some damage from the storms what we've had the last couple of days. In Sheffield we had a really bad wind, and I didn't have bad wind personally but we had some really bad wind, and it blew out one of my perspex windows on my shed. So I've replaced that with some polytunnel plastic for the time being until I get some perspex. But the plastic is obviously very good, the polytunnel plastic, because it will let the heat in, and obviously it's good for polytunnels, so it'll be good for my shed. So hopefully it will keep it warm, and I certainly noticed the difference afterwards, rather than having a big gaping window hole in the side of it. But yeah, that is one job that I've sorted. And also some of my picket fencing had blown down. Like I always say, I'm not the best at woodwork, so I always end up having to do repairs to stuff what I've built. But we have repaired that. It's back up standing, and hopefully it will last a bit longer now. And it all still needs repainting again for this year. We've got all that bit to do, but that can be done when it starts to dry up a bit and when the weather starts to get a bit better, because I don't want to be painting it now, not while it's chances of probably snow in February or March time. So we'll probably be doing that early April time, repainting all my woodwork. But the main part of the allotment jobs is to get it all clean and tidied, and I'm certainly cracking on with that. So we've got all them done. Our next job after that was to sort out some rose cuttings. Previously I've shared on one of my YouTube videos how to take rose cuttings. It was my first time doing it, and I followed a YouTube video on how to do it, and I was quite impressed with myself. Literally most of them rooted and sent out roots and stayed alive, so I'm really pleased with that. But the thing is, I can't remember if I took the cuttings from my climbing roses or from my bush roses. So I have repotted them all up, the ones that I've rooted, and they're all in individual pots. I'm going to keep on growing them indoors in my shed until the weather warms up, because I don't want to put them outside and the frost kill the roots what I've grown on the bottom of them, because obviously they are delicate. They've not been grown in proper conditions to be a plant, so hopefully they will keep on growing, and we'll plant them out when it gets a lot warmer, probably May time, end of April, May time, depending on what the UK temperature is. But I'm really pleased with all them cuttings, so I'm going to be putting all them down the sides of my plot, and if it starts to climb then I can grow it along the fencing. But if it's a bush rose, it can just stand there and be fine where it is. So it will be a case of waiting and seeing what it actually looks like. So because I said I didn't know if they were actually part of my bush rose or part of my climbing rose, what I have done is I've taken some more cuttings, because they were so successful last time, I thought, why not take some more cuttings? So I'm not going to expect much from my climbing roses this year, because I've really cut them back and cut off all the growth and used them for my prunings really, and for my cuttings. So I've got 2 big pots full. I've got 2 types of climbing roses, so we've got 2 pots, and hopefully they will root as well. And I brought them home to my flat with me because it's a lot warmer in my flat, and I thought they might actually get rooted and get growing and quicker if they're in my flat, because it is that nice and warmer. And I'm hoping, fingers crossed, they will take. So I'll have to keep tuned on them, and if all of them take root, all my rose cuttings, I'm going to be growing them all the way down the sides of my plot, so that it adds lots and lots of colour to it, and hopefully attract the bees, and hopefully eventually the fragrance will be fantastic. So I really can't wait to see if they do take. And obviously it'll save money, because like I say, I bought some roses from Tesco the other week. Obviously they're a lot more well developed, they've been growing them for ages, these new plants, and they are £2 each, which is quite cheap, very cheap for a rose plant. And I planted 3 of them last week, and I've shared a picture on Instagram today, and they are starting to bud, so I'm pleased with how they're taking. So I definitely know that I've got some that will grow, and I'm keeping them watered so that they do root and they do take, because I don't want them to die on me. Not when I know they're only £2 each, but I don't want them to die on me, so we'll keep giving them a drink of water, and hopefully they'll take root. And you never know, they might even flower this year, but we'll have to see why. But they painted green. I really want to know why they paint rose cutting green, and yeah, to see what they're actually like. So we'll have to see how they get on. So we've sorted them out. I've also been, again, doing lots of tidying up. I'm starting to clear all the rubbish off it, because I am a messy gardener. I could be a lot better, so I've sorted all them out. So the next job will be to finish sorting out my strawberry beds. I've put all my strawberries in the ground through the black membrane, what I was talking about, growing them through the black membrane, but I need to make the beds a bit smaller, and I've left room to move the beds in a bit, because the paths just aren't wide enough for me to get my feet down, and I've got size 12 feet, so they are pretty big. So I need to try and get those made a bit smaller, and eventually, hopefully, get some paving slabs to lay on the pathway, because eventually all my paths are going to be paved. Each year I keep getting a few more paving slabs and adding to the paths, because it just makes it that little bit better, that little bit posher. You're not standing in the mud all the time. Keeps the weeds down, and it's a bit more level and less slippy as well. So that's why I have paving slabs down on all my paths. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased with how I've got on today. We'll be seeing if we get to the allotment tomorrow. I'm back on night shifts tomorrow night, so hopefully we'll schedule the episodes so you still get them daily. And it all depends if I have too much to drink tonight, if we get to the allotment tomorrow. But I'm hoping to get to the plot tomorrow, because I don't go to the plot when I'm on night shifts, not until summertime anyway. So we'll see how we do get on, and see if we do get some work done on the plot tomorrow. Fingers crossed we do. So there's 2 episodes today. So if you've not listened to my other episode, which is talking about all the gardening jobs that I need doing in February, have a listen to that one. Yesterday we shared the episode on what seeds we can sow this month, so have a listen to that. I'm certainly going to be starting to sow quite a lot of seeds pretty well soon, so I'm excited for that, and that takes up a lot of time, hence the reason why I'm trying to get as much done on the plot as possible at the moment while it is decent weather. And like we don't know, in February we may get really bad snow. February is known for bad weather, so we'll have to see how well we actually get on with that. So if you if you've not subscribed to this podcast, make sure you do click that subscribe button. It's great to see the subscriber rate going up every single episode, every single day. And please do leave a review on the platform that you're listening to. Apple, you can leave a actual written review, and Spotify, you can leave a star rating. So please do leave a rating, and it does help get it seen more as well. I know you might not think it's a big job, but it's 2 seconds just to give it a rating, and hopefully it will help more people see it. So thanks for listening. Until next time, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben's podcasts. So thank you for listening to today's episode of Gardening with Ben. We hope that you've enjoyed this episode. Remember to do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our podcasts. Feel free to share them on your Instagram stories so that it spreads the word about my podcast and we get lots more listeners. Feel free to check out my social media sites, Facebook and Instagram as well, Gardening with Ben, and also my YouTube channel, to stay up to date with all my handy videos, how-to videos, and sharing my tips and advice. And feel free to check the link as well in the description for my Gardening with Ben t-shirts. Lots of funny gardening design t-shirts in there for you to purchase at great prices too. So thanks again, and as always, remember, keep smiling and keep gardening.